Here's why you should always make a record of your BIOS settings. You see, a few days ago, this CMOS battery in my Dell Optiplex 9020, the battery died, and I thought I could just replace the battery and everything would be fine. So I put in a new battery, reset the date, but then I got the problem that the computer wouldn't boot up. It says no boot device found. And what I realized that happened is that while with newer motherboards, it doesn't really matter whether you change the BIOS, change the CMOS battery or not, the BIOS settings stay the same. The problem is that with these older motherboards, when you take out the CMOS battery, the BIOS gets completely reset. And that proved a big problem for me because I didn't realize that at the time, and no matter what I tried doing, it just wouldn't solve the problem. So I had to keep playing around with BIOS settings, and this was a pain because I had to keep changing one variable at a time, rebooting the system and checking whether that worked. And how I eventually fixed it was that I changed all of the boot settings to UEFI, and I enabled secure boot mode on. And what this does is it allows the computer to only boot off the hard drive and none of the other devices plugged into it, such as your USB or your optical drives. And so I think with the newer version of the Windows 10 feature update, it gives priority to UEFI, and so if you have legacy boot on, it completely disrupts the whole boot process. So once I enabled that, I found that I could boot into Windows, but not completely. I was able to reach the repair menu where I could boot into safe mode, and from safe mode I enabled safe mode with networking, and so when I went online it downloaded a few files in the background which eventually repaired the process. So ultimately what I learned from this is that you have to make a physical record of your BIOS settings. Sometimes you can't even boot from a recovery disk, and so at least having that physical written record allows you to go into your BIOS and reset it according to what it was, and you wouldn't have to go through this whole irritating process.